Hello everybody, this is Bench85. Welcome back to You Play KSP Reboot, and I seem to have a bit of a problem. Let me show you. My plane is running away. I'm hoping it stops here. I think it's going uphill a little bit. Either way, it is getting further and further away from us. So I seem to have found a bit of an issue with our science plane, which is what we were going to do today. I did not put an antenna on it, so we have no way of transmitting data. And apparently the hatch is obstructed by the winglet in the front. So when you get out, it throws your Kerbal, or in this case, the Kerbal got stuck. And, well, bad things happen. Plane started moving, the brakes weren't working anymore. I was over there by the Easter egg, but now we're chasing a plane down. This is the fun part. How about Kerbal space program? Nothing ever seems to go quite right. Watch, the plane will actually probably start coming at us or something to run us over. And I cannot run any faster than this. What is that? I know there's a... Oh, that's for the Kerbal attachment system. Yeah, see, look. The plane is coming back at us. So let's see if I can time this correctly. Nope. I guess we're going this way. Wait, shouldn't the plane come back this way? Secondly, cannot work faster while Kerbals are on a ladder. I'm not on a ladder though. I'm not on a ladder. I don't understand this. Or maybe you can't have a Kerbal on the ground? Which way is it going? I'm guessing it's going to go back and forth. No, it's going further away. Watch it end up in the ocean. That would totally ruin everything that I wanted to do in this episode. All because I decided to get out. There we go. Now we get it highlighted. The target is moving 2.2 meters per second away from us. So we will know if it's slowing down, because this number will start dropping. It is slowing down. That means it's going to start coming back this way. I wonder if there's any way that we could catch it before it slows down completely. So we're going 2 meters per second. So when this gets to be 2 meters per second, it is starting to roll backwards. It has stopped moving. So now it is coming back at us, ever so slowly. So maybe we should be going this way. Maybe that would be smart. Detach, grab. Oh, I forgot that I could take that off. Okay, that's going back on. It's catching up to us. I'm hoping I could catch it, you know, when it's slowing down. So when we're running here, it's going about 2.2 meters per second faster than us. So it's moving at about 4 meters per second, 4.2. So is it slowing down? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. 1.8, 1.7. I think it's slowing down. It is. Okay, so let's see if we can time this. Alright. So it's just gonna go over our head. Oh, I guess it was moving faster than I thought it was going to. Oh, it's speeding up. Oh no. I didn't know it was going to speed up. It was going up a hill and then down a hill, and apparently needs more drag. I don't understand why the brakes don't hold. Oh, now it's slowing down. I'm going to start catching it in a moment here. So it's still moving at 2 meters per second. Now it's below 2 meters. So it has not stopped officially yet. Right about there it stopped. So now it's starting to roll this way. I wonder if we could get in the way of it. I think we could do that. Didn't appear to allow us to do that. And now it is moving faster than us. Alright, I'm gonna have to wait until it comes back here, and we'll have to try it again, I guess. Alright, we're going to take a stab at this. It is moving very slowly. The other option would be, since we are going uphill, would be to try to turn it. All I need to do is get into it again. Okay, so it's not moving. So let's try to go around the edge here. Let's get in the plane. And then we can actually go somewhere with it. Why am I getting the climb command way out here? Where is it? Not what I wanted to do. Oh, right there. Aha! grab. Now let me board. Oh, got it. Yeah, see, the brake's not applied. Well, that didn't go quite as planned. We can increase time now, right? Yeah. Alright, let's reactivate these motors. Just meander our way over here. I wonder... Let me check this quick. Okay, these are still... not really balancing like I wanted it to. Can I do... Oh, okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Transfer out. Okay, there we go. I need the front ones transferring fuel back to the back ones. Perfect. So, Easter egg number 1, the squad marker near the KSC. One of the things, there's quite a few of these out in the universe here in the area. But let's... Oop. Okay, let's try to take off here. I've been practicing this plane. It seems to fly pretty well. It's just the landings that are careful. You have to be careful with. So at about 100, we should be able to pull up. And we are off and flying. Stop being scared here. You're a great pilot. Promise I've only crashed this thing a couple times. Alright, let's cut the throttle down because we do not need to be flying at 1,000 miles an hour. This thing will go over the speed of sound if you get in the right spot. As far as height and speed. So I can do some of these, but the problem is it's... Yeah, see, we're actually picking up a whole lot of speed. Which we don't need. So we're headed over here for another Easter egg, since we're Easter egg hunting. So I need to keep my speed in check and my altitude. That's the hardest part. Once I'm close to the ground and my speed's not too bad, I seem to be able to flare pretty well. The only time that it struggles with landings is if you use up all the fuel in the rear tanks and you have it only in the front, because the center of mass starts traveling forwards, and the plane doesn't like that. It'll nosedive. You can't flare then. So we're going to burn all the fuel out of the front tanks, keep everything to the back. In fact, the center of mass is pretty much dead on with these tanks, I found. Straighten out a little bit here. So I mean, we are traveling at 0.6 Mach. 1.0 is obviously the speed of sound. Of course, just like in real life, it depends on your altitude. The higher you get, the faster that number is, I believe, because it has to do with speed density of the air. And the density starts dropping when you start getting higher and higher. So I'm going to cut the motors, or the engines, completely here. We're going to see if we can land on this runway. I think we have too much speed, actually. We got way too much speed. Apparently we're doing a flyby. This is probably not the best of planes to try to land here, but I think we're gonna make a loop here and see if we can land it. Curve out this way a little bit. A little more throttle. Kick it over. Let's bring her around. We're losing altitude though. We're losing altitude. More throttle. And let's see, are we gonna make this? No, I don't think so. Okay, so let's cut throttles back down. Let's keep our nose up. Do a little bit of a flyby here. We'll make a turn further out to try to make a landing here. This area, you know, KSC is easy to land at. I don't land at the runway necessarily. I'll just land on any area that's flat. It seems to work pretty well. Okay, let's try to bring this around here. This turn will help us bleed off some speed too. I keep the throttle up for now, just in case. Oh, we gotta drop our nose down a little bit here. There we go, we're coming around pretty well. We're gonna cut throttle. This plane glides a lot better than anything else. So you're better off gliding it in. And now I'm just watching my vertical speed and my altitude. We gotta keep our vertical speed down as much as possible. Just trying to float this out. Not hit the tower. Flaring. Yeah, that didn't go so well. I think it's time to bail. Apparently we shouldn't have bailed. Pilot would have survived. Alright, so I believe our science plane has too many issues. Apparently it still has control. Seriously, it still has control? Is there a, do I have a probe body in here? Oh, I do. Oh, the plane is functional without... Oh, I thought this had... Doesn't this have, yeah, curb net. Oh. It says antenna state is active. Well, we do have some science, I guess, that we collected. We need to rework our science plane, obviously. We need some more parts is what it comes down to. We don't have a good enough plane, I guess. Recovery of vessel that survived a flight. We got 13 science. Not ideal. We can get some of the lower ones, but we need to get some of these 160s. I forget which one it is. I think it's something in here. Looking for... That is a docking port right there. That is a docking port, so we need either that one. Yeah, we need this one. And then I think composites gets us... No. There's the shielded one. Where's the regular one? I obviously have trouble finding this. Adapters. Stack separator. Okay, here it is. Yeah, okay, so it is in this one. So we need specialized construction. And we need 160 science for that. And right now, we are working on precision engineering and advanced electrics. So it's going to take some time before we can get the docking ports. We do have this Moho probe, which I think I'm going to fast forward to, and we're going to launch this guy to finish out this episode. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Alright, guys. We are headed off on our Moho probe that we're sending off. Sped up pretty quickly, trying out this speed up in Vegas Pro here. As you can see, I kind of messed up the staging there, brought up the wiki for a moment. We were using a pair of solid rocket boosters here, 2 sets, got us up to about 13,000 meters before we finally switched over to fuel. The reason being is we're a little bit underpowered when it comes to liquid fuel here. So you see I took a pretty steep trajectory, and basically we're going to try to get as much height as possible before switching over to the upper stages, because when we do get to the upper stages, unfortunately we are going to be low on thrust, as you can see here. Just trying to curl it over here. We're already hit space, and it's basically we're trying to race to get into an orbit before we start falling back down. So we're nearing our apoapsis. It's not far away here. Might as well decouple the shields there. And watching this back now, I think this might be a little bit faster than I wanted to do it. But like I said, we're just playing around, and I don't think those antennas are going to be enough, but we will make do. So we're at 1700. Yeah, 1900, and this should be 2000. Yeah, but that's plenty of speed here. We are falling back down right now, which is why I'm angling up here a little bit, trying to equal out the orbit. And we get her into an orbit. Not a perfect, but beggars can't be choosers. So because we're going into the solar system here, you can see I'm lining up my ejection angle out of Kerbin sphere of influence towards behind me. So I'm slowing down my orbit to reach close enough to Moho here. And the problem with Moho is the angle. You see the inclination of the planet compared to Kerbin? It's tipped quite a long ways. So the idea is we're trying to hit it on the descending node. Well, I guess in this case it'd be ascending because I'm coming up through, but you see where that green marker is, so I'm trying to line this up perfect, and right there we get an intersection, so then we don't have to do a plane change when we in process, hopefully. At least that's the plan here. That music is so funky sped up. I'm still not used to it. Not doing any science yet. Getting tired of that. Yeah, switch that off so it doesn't pause my warp speed. It can be kind of a pain sometimes. So we just came back into connection, which is perfect timing here because we're coming back around for our big burn. And we definitely need to get some satellites up pretty soon, but we need the research and development, I think, to get the correct ones that we need. So we switched now to our final stage here. We got over 3 grand. I think it's like 3,800 meters per second of delta V. The burn getting out there was like 1,800, so we should have close to 2 grand, maybe a little bit less to work with when we get down there. It is not enough to slow down when we get to Moho. I think you need about 5,000 delta V to slow down usually. So we are not going to get into orbit around Moho. We are going to get kicked out, and we're just going to basically see. I want to do a flyby of Moho and then kind of see where things end up after that. Use some gravity assist and see if we can bounce around the solar system a little bit here. You can see it didn't line up perfectly, so I'm trying to correct the orbit here and get back to where I was. You can see I'm trying to bring this back down to that descending node while playing around with it. and I realize after a little bit here, it's just not worth it. It's too small of a correction to be making this far out, so we're going to be much better off making a maneuver node here and trying to tweak the maneuver node to get it where we want it to be. Sometimes it's easier to just make a small mid-course correction like this. There we go. So we have intersection. It's another 200 meters per second, which is a short burn. Now we're just tweaking a little bit here, trying to bring it down really close. And we'll set an alarm here. So now it's in Kerbal alarm clock, so that's set. And I want to jump to the tracking station here because I want to show you guys what I'm worried about here. The Duna probe is not doing so well. Our connection now is showing 33% signal strength, which is not good, and we are still a long ways out. So I think we need to get our satellites up and see what happens. And I figured while we're here, we might as well just send back some data quick, so we have it. But research-wise, we have our 166. So we can get the one that has the docking nodes there, get that started up, and that'll wrap things up here. So not exactly the most successful episode mission here, but will work out. So next time I think we'll do some other stuff. So thank you all for watching, and as always, guys, take it easy.